Before we pass it down the podium a bit to start concentrating on patients, I guess I should turn it over to the floor to see if there's any questions out there for the last two speakers. It doesn't look like, and I don't think we have mics in this, so you'll have to shout it out if you do have a question. I don't have a, well, there's one right there in the third row.
How do you get these products out to the physicians, get them to be recommended? How does all that part take place?
The challenge for us is absolutely that. It's not the products as much as it is the disease awareness. Because the products, there's only a handful of treaters. We're probably a dozen specialists across the country, so they need to get rooted in. But what we do is, what our folks do is any number of things that we put in place in terms of cold calls, a lot of cold calls, going into specialties that we think might be part of the diagnostic pathway. We find as we study the diseases more, we find the trace, how do patients move through from their GP to specialist A, specialist B, specialist Z, all the way through. So intervene there and sort of present, doctor, have you seen patient with profiles with normal blood pressure, renal failure, this, and this, and they're like, they start to wonder. What we've also developed is we've developed a dry blood spot test. So we engaged a company out of Montreal that basically could do sort of a rapid test. So we provide those to physicians, for example, and say, look, if you suspect, do this test. We cover the cost of it. We don't see the results. They go off to this lab in Montreal, and you'll get a response within 2 weeks. It'll either give you an indication that it may be this specialty disease or not, and that'll help you on your diagnostic path, doctor. We do awarenesses. We support, as we know our patients in their groups, we do awareness on that one. They're small groups. They struggle, but that's a lot of what we do is trying to build in there. You narrow it down. There's patients. There's certain common characteristics of the diseases. Our MPS 1 patient, a child will present with a claw. You know, doctor, have you seen any child with a claw hand? Have you thought of MPS 1? You know, here's a way to screen forward. It's stuff that you try to keep at top of mind. Very difficult to do. It takes a lot of time and a lot of resources, but phenomenally rewarding when some patient either gets some answer and they know that something can be done.
Just a question for Glenn. Glenn, as a general manager now of the Canadian sub, how do you get your team focused on the right products? What process do you use?
You know, again, I think we've got some products in existing market spaces where it's a clear, we're following a market leader, and it's it's a pretty simple formula in terms of, you know, their job is to grow the market and our job is to grab market share. So, you know, in terms of that, there's existing customers, there's existing patients, and the trailblazing has been done. In, you know, in other products that are coming down the pipe, I mean, again, we're looking at overlap on our existing infrastructure. So, you know, as opposed to creating a new division and so on, you know, we're looking at bringing into focus products that have overlap with our existing customer base. So again, it's all part of trying to create a portfolio and synergies that capture the existing knowledge base and existing account base of our current team.
Okay, if there's no more questions there, I think we'll move to the next part. We heard a lot about if we want to make our product stand out, we need to concentrate on the patient. So let's hear what the patients have to say about that. The moderator for the next session is Mark McElwain. He's Vice President at KPS&B and has a lot of, I think, experience in developing patient programs for pharma companies.